Hi, it's me Jacqueline. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to the channel, then please subscribe my channel and visit my Patreon page, link in the description.
Okay, I admit it. I'd been ragging on my sister Janet all week. Sometimes she really bugs me. Her with all her pots and potions, lotions and whatnot. A girl can only be so pretty, and Jan is just naturally gorgeous anyway, which is what bothers me, I guess. She takes so much time trying to enhance what she's already been given. She's a year older than me, but I'll be 16 soon. Janet could never wear makeup and she'd still be a boy magnet, you know? People say we sure look a lot alike too. That kind of bothers me. Does she look like me, or do I look like her? On the other hand, Mom and Dad had been at it tooth and nail and pretty much over the same thing where Mom was concerned. She was a cheerleader in college, so you know she was and is pretty, and this past Sunday, when we all went out to dinner, Dad got on her case about holding us up. They were still at it at breakfast on Monday. Just one look at Mom and I could tell she was fed up. It wasn't exactly what she said, but how she said it. Tuesday when I got home from school, Mom had a present for me, or US I guess. I loved rock and roll, especially the oldies from the 70s, and she had scored a whole bag full of tapes from a garage sale, so she said, "I just know how much you like that group, Culture Club," she said, so I found 2 of those and put them on top of the stack. Just work your way down. I think you'll like them. Wow! Thanks, Mom. This is great, I replied, and took the stack of tapes to my room to study my homework. I always played music in the background when I was studying anyway. So I slipped the first one in the player and settled back with economics. By the time the first side was over, I was probably asleep, but I heard Mom call me for dinner. She and Dad were listening to one of the tapes too. I think it was the Moody Blues. That's a really distinctive flute. At dinner, the conversation took the usual turns. Nothing major. "Jack, would it hurt you to take a little care of that mop of yours? You haven't washed it since last Friday," said Mom. "Oh, all right. I'll wash it." We were all speaking civilly to one another and discussed the day's events as was the custom. We were still being entertained by the new tapes as I went back to my room to finish my homework, where I continued with the second tape. This was great stuff and, according to Mom, almost free. Well, I vowed to not miss a one of them until I'd listened to all 15. It looked like she had another 15 she had saved for Dad and her to listen to also. I did go in to take a shower and wash my hair in Janet's and my adjoining bathroom after I'd been listening to the second one for a while. I even used Jan's conditioner on it, and when I blew it dry, it did look better, but something just wasn't quite right, so I took my brush and back-combed it a little for body, and then I tied it back up in a ponytail somewhat off my neck. There, that looks better, I thought. And then it hit me. "Jack, what the heck did you do that for?" "Well, because it looks nicer, I guess." "Oh, okay." Mom was effusive in her praise of my hair all of a sudden. It did look shiny and full. It appeared Dad had taken the hint too, and while he didn't have enough length for a long ponytail like mine yet, his looked nice and full and shiny too, sort of fluffy, I suppose you'd say, with a blunt cut at the back. I'd never been a fan of big hair, but I guess a little extra body was okay. It looked nice on him. That night after the 10 o'clock news, I shut down my little 13-inch TV and turned on the new tapes again and put it on continuous loop. I'd gotten used to playing music while I slept. Actually, Mom had always used the radio to help me sleep when I was little, and I'd grown accustomed to it. Now that I'm going on 16, I find I still like a soothing sound to fall asleep to. She did the same thing with Janet. That first night, I played more rock and roll and drifted off to awaken to Jim Croce. When I got dressed for school, rather than just grab my hair and put it into a rubber band, I brushed it out, fluffed it up a little, and borrowed one of Jan's black scrunchies. There, that's better, I thought with some satisfaction. As I was looking at myself in the mirror, maybe I should get an earring, huh? Maybe 2. Yeah, that might be cool. What are you thinking, Jack? 2. Yeah, maybe. I noticed a couple of Dad's blemishes missing as we ate and asked about them. "Oh, yes. Thanks for noticing, Jack. I decided to use some of your mom's stuff on them. Look okay?" "Yeah, Dad, nice. Makes you look a little younger." I'd never thought about wanting to look nicer much. I mean, guys just do minimal stuff, but just then they noticed my hair. Jack, your hair looks great. What have you done? Asked Mom. Just gave it a little body, Mom. Does it really look okay? Definitely an improvement, son. Keep it up. I suppose it's not too much trouble. Doesn't take 20 seconds to do it. Okay. A couple of the girls noticed my hair at school that day and complimented me on it. I found that I liked getting compliments. How strange. And compliments about my hair was even stranger, however. Beggars, etc. Other than that, Thursday was pretty much of a repeat of Wednesday in all respects right up through dinner and after. We didn't watch much TV and listened to the rock and roll tapes again, and I did again overnight. I felt really well rested the next morning, almost ambitious, and when I was doing my hair, I'm afraid I put a little more back combing in it and spritzed it with a lanolin spray of Janet's. Wow, that does look good, I thought as I smiled at myself in the mirror. I tied it off a little higher than yesterday with a red scrunchie and went down to breakfast. Dad must have been extra sleepy this morning as he didn't have his shoes on. He was wearing Mom's scuffs, not her flat ones, but the ones with about a 2-inch wedge heel. Dad, I said, I think you'd better change shoes before you go to work. Oh, for heaven's sake. Yes, these wouldn't do at all, but I find I like the little bit of heel jack. They're a little small, but maybe you would too. I don't know about that, Dad, but if it feels good, go for it. When Dad changed for bed that night, he came back to the kitchen and he was wearing a different pair of slippers. They were definitely women's and with an even higher wedge heel, and his toes were painted a pale pink. He had on his nylon pajamas, at least they looked like his, and the sight gave me a little chill, but I didn't say anything except, "Nice slippers, Dad." Thanks, son. I got them on the way home. Your mom did the nails for me. Like the color? Yeah, Dad, sure, if you do. Yes, it's a nice shade. Thanks. What the heck was with Dad all of a sudden? Well, no matter. I wasn't raised to be judgmental. On the contrary, we were taught to be very tolerant of others. What business was it of mine anyway? Besides, they did look nice in those slippers. That night I brushed out my hair, putting it up at my crown in a violet scrunchie. It looked cute the way it swished around tied up there like that. I looked in the mirror and decided that I definitely would look good with an earring, even better with two. Yes, I want two. I wonder if Janet will let me wear some of her pretty dangles? Jack, what the hell are you thinking? That I'd look cute with more hair and nice earrings. What's your problem, Jack? Dad's hair is fluffy and he paints his nails and wears pretty slippers, and for all I know, those are girls' pajamas too. Don't you want to keep up? I'm not so sure. On one front, I'm having a real problem with this, and on another, I'd love to paint my toes too. And those slippers really are attractive, even on Dad. It was over the weekend that I got into real trouble. I mean, not trouble, but Jan has a habit of leaving her lingerie hanging over the shower rod, and when I took my shower Saturday morning, I of course had to take them down. She does have nice taste in lingerie. I really liked that pair of pale blue panties with the wide lace at the top. After I finished my legs and shaved my armpits and got out of the shower, I just had to try them on. I mean, what are sisters for anyway? Oh, I like this feeling. These are great. Whoa, Jack. You just shaved your legs and armpits, and you're getting off on wearing a pair of your sister's satin panties. So? I think they're pretty. Sue me. Just then Janet eased into the bathroom. She knew I was probably done because the water had long since stopped running. Well, Jack, those look real cute on you. Do you like them? I'm sorry, Janet. I didn't mean. Oh, don't be silly, Jackie. I really don't mind if you get with the program. Panties are a lot nicer than those dumb briefs you wear. Would you like a few pair until you can get some? You don't mind? I think I love them. No, why should I? We're siblings, aren't we? Well, yeah, but then it's settled. I'll go get you some. Janet returned to my bedroom with 5 more pairs of pretty panties in various shades and styles, for which I thanked her with a hug and a kiss. Me kiss my sister? What's the world coming to? She brought me some other things too, like a nightie and mules like Daddy's, flats and a bra and a shirtwaist dress, and just put them into my closet. This is so strange. I just kind of zoned out and didn't even complain. If I thought that was strange, I hadn't seen Dad yet. He came to breakfast Saturday morning wearing a pair of mom's shorts, his new sexy slippers, and had done his nails in a round shape like Mom and Jan and with shiny clear polish on them. His legs were bare, cleanly shaven, and not bad to look at. His hair was fluffy and looked a lot like Mom's. My first thought was, where the heck did he hide the jewels? Those shorts are tight. My next one was, darned if Dad doesn't look kind of nice in Mom's shorts. His hair and nails look nice too. Can't believe how nice his legs look. Good grooming must be contagious around here. Well, I guess I can get with the program too, as Janet says. I then went back to Janet's room and borrowed an emery board and some pearlized pink polish and some clear. Then I proceeded to do all my nails like Dad's and the girls. When they had dried, I looked at myself in the mirror again and ran my hand over my butt. Darned if you don't have a nice one there, Jack. A little lumpy in front, but I don't think I'll be going back to cotton after feeling how nice nylon is, no way. I wonder if Dad has discovered how nice panties are? I just have to get myself some satiny panties next time I go shopping. I put on the slippers Jan had loaned me to keep up with Daddy and went back into the family room. Way to go, bro, said January. Like them? Yes. Nice job on the nails too. Saturday we lounged around the pool after the grass was cut. We listened to some Eric Clapton and some Janis Joplin. I felt very mellow. Dad wore a tight Speedo suit, or at least what looked like one, and the question of what he did with them came to mind again. He was barely showing, but the suit looked good. Son, when did you begin shaving your armpits? Asked Dad. Oh, just this week, Dad. Just seems cleaner somehow. I think the hair makes them retain BO, don't you? Yes, I do. That's why I'm doing it too. I guess you hadn't noticed. No, I hadn't, but it seems like a good idea. Some of the things the girls do aren't such a bad idea, even if it takes a few minutes now and then. We'd been lying there listening to some Crosby, Stills, and Nash. I'd been sunning myself for a while, about an hour. I guess. I wonder if my legs are as pretty as Dad's. Asterisk as I looked at my face, the word bushy described how my brows looked to me too, so I took Jan's tweezers and thinned them out a little from the bottom and got rid of the ones over my nose. The more I thinned, the better they looked. There. That's better. Much cleaner look. I'll bet TV people and movie stars do this all the time. I fixed my ponytail at my crown with a pink scrunchie and went back to the pool. I really liked the way it swung back and forth when I tied it there. Just a few more inches and it would be brushing my neck as it swung back and forth. I always thought a ponytail was sexy on a girl. I put on my borrowed mules again. I think I like these, but they make me walk like a girl. Going back out to the pool, Janet noticed my improvements immediately. Darn, Jackie, you do have pretty legs, she teased. Thanks, January. I'm glad you think so. And you did your brows too. That softens your face considerably, Jackie. Good show. I like the hair up like that too, but would you ask next time you want to borrow my hair stuff, please? Oh, I'm sorry. Sure. I guess I should get my own anyway. That would be a good idea, bro. Does the bra fit? Yes. Thank you. Well then, the dress probably will too. Hope you like it. It's cute. Thanks. Did I just thank my sister for a dress and say it was cute, implying that I would wear it? Yeah, I guess I did. Wow. It is cute though. That evening, since I didn't have a date, Brandon, that's my nerdy friend, and I went to the mall. Now, I really didn't intend to do it, but I steered Brandon into JCPenney and bought 6 pairs of lovely panties and a mid-calf length nightie with a fitted bodice in mint green. It was gorgeous. Brandon was a little stupefied. Jack, are those for your mom or Janet? Neither, Bran. Who then? Me, of course. And while we're at it, I want to get my ears pierced. Do you mind? No, Jack, I don't mind, except I never knew you liked girls' stuff before. I wouldn't tell this to another soul, but I kind of do too, except I'm afraid to do anything about it. I'm proud of you, Jackie. Well, that's a relief, Bran. I was afraid you'd bail on me. Let's go get me some pretty studs. Wow! I can't believe the conversation I just had with Brandon. I also can't believe I bought myself a slinky nightgown right in front of him either. I hope it feels as good on as it did in the store. We did go to the piercing both, and I got some plain gold studs. I also got some cubic zirconia for after they healed, but for now, I didn't know how much I could get away with at school. I still had a few weeks to go before summer vacation. We also stopped by the dollar store and got some hair care stuff. I picked up some scrunchies and pins, a few ribbons, and a silk decoration that clipped in when you wore your hair up, along with a comb for a French braid and one of those hairdeeny things. All the while Brandon was carrying on about how jealous he was, but I didn't see him doing anything about it, just like he said. I really don't know what came over me, but we ended up in the Payless shoe store, roaming through the 8 to 9, all of the women's section. Janet had put a pair or two of pantyhose in my sock drawer, and I had a pair on. Brandon was bouncing off the walls as I tried on cute girl shoes. I finally settled on a pair of black flats and a pair of loafers with a slightly built-up heel in a size 8. Okay, it was about a 2.5-inch heel. They were cute, and I figured I could get away with wearing them to school. Why did I want to wear girls' shoes to school? Why was I wearing panties and pantyhose? Why? Because it just felt right, I guess. I wore the loafers home. The cashier wised off at me, I think. He asked, "Would you like a purse to go with those, miss?" On the one hand, I wanted to belt him. The other, I thought it was sweet of him to ask. So, I reached over and pulled down this neat black shoulder bag and added it to the pile and smiled. The way I had my hair done and the earrings. Oh my! The shoes were easy to get used to. No problem at all, and they made my feet look a size smaller at least. They also made me as tall as Brandon, who, in reality, isn't very tall either. I just loved the flats. They were so sexy but demure. The real surprise was when I got home about 9. Mom and Dad were sitting watching TV in almost matching lounging outfits. They were both wearing peignoir sets and mid-heeled mules. I was sure he had panties on underneath. Dad looked like he had on a little blusher and a light lipstick too, not to mention the top of his gown was appropriately pushed out. I couldn't contain myself all of a sudden. I lost control, but not the way I'd expected. I gushed. Me? Daddy, you look wonderful. Just wonderful. That looks great on you. Is that all Mom's stuff? No, your mom and I went shopping too, although not locally. I see by the packages you did too, and those are cute shoes. Going to wear those to school? Yes! And you got your ears pierced. Good for you. We were wondering when you'd get around to it. You and Janet can share earrings now. What else did you buy? Just some panties and a nightie and the shoes. Oh, and these cute flats. Wanna see? Yes, honey, model for us, said Mom. I showed them the flats and they made appropriate noises. Okay, I'll go up and change. It took me a few minutes, but I put on my new nightie and the padded bra Jan had loaned me, put on my new flats, and then let my hair down and brushed it out into its natural waves. It hung past my shoulders and was very shiny. Well, if Daddy can wear lipstick, so can I, and I proceeded to use a little of Jan's Plumrose. She'd probably have a hissy fit, but I could get my own. Good thing she was out on a date. I thought I looked rather cute. Definitely girlish, but cute. OH, Jackie, you look darling. Doesn't he, Lou? You really do have potential, son, said my dad. I think you could be almost as pretty as your sister, don't you, Eleanor? I do, Lou. And you're looking awfully cute yourself. You should both embrace this clean new look and let it grow on you. I'm sure you'll come to love all these soft, pretty things you both are trying out. Mom, that's exactly what I'm scared to death of. I don't understand myself at all. If Daddy and I aren't careful, he could lose his job and I could end up in the hospital. Well then, we need to just keep this self-improvement program of yours mostly at home for a while, don't you think? At least the more flagrant things like makeup. Yes, honey, said Daddy, that just makes sense. We can enjoy these nice things at home and be our old, dumpy selves at work and school, okay, Jackie? Sure, Daddy. Whatever you two think is best. I slept to the rocking sounds of Santana that night. Well, I never slept in a gown before and never had one swishing around my shaved legs before and never wore sexy slippers before, but I confess, I loved it all. And I loved the look the blush and lipstick gave me too, especially with my hair down. There was no getting away from the fact that both my ears were pierced though. Well, I could deal with that except that when I looked in the mirror, I was seeing a different version of Janet. Janet caught me bumping into walls the next morning half asleep in my new nightie and still with my makeup on. She looked just a little surprised but said, "Well, Jackie, you look very comfortable. How do the mules fit?" Almost perfect, January. Thanks. I think I'll get myself a pair. I like them and Daddy seems to like his a lot too. I hope you don't mind me borrowing your polish and makeup. No, not really, hon, but you should be careful when you borrow makeup. What you borrowed is smudge-proof. Your lips are stained until tomorrow more than likely. Oh well, I'll make the best of it. Thanks, I'll remember that. Sunday, we all went to church at 10 a.m. Daddy and I were wearing our panties and hose and I did my hair just a little. I mean, it was Sunday and we were going to church. I don't think I looked too feminine even with my pink lips. Neither did Daddy. Judging from the occasional stares I got, I may have been wrong. Monday morning, we all did our usual thing except for a few minor adjustments, like I couldn't take out the studs, but I didn't tease my hair much either, and I took the polish off my hands. I just put on a coat of hardener so they would resist breaking. Of course, I couldn't hide the way the nails were shaped. A few noticed the earrings, but only a couple of the girls made a point of it, none of the guys. A couple of the girls noticed my new shoes though and told me how much they liked them on me. Barbara wanted to try them on so I let her and they fit her. Carol noticed my pantyhose then and just winked at me saying, "Jackie, you shouldn't go barefoot. Put on Barbara's Mary Jane's while she has yours on." Oh, Carol, I couldn't. They're really cute, but I just couldn't. What if she didn't want to trade back? She just smiled back. I did want to try on those Mary Janes though. Maybe I had a friend. The girls did seem friendlier though, and I hung with them a little bit on Monday.
Please subscribe for the next part and visit my Patreon page for early access.